Hello, my name is Blythe Roberts, and in this vlog I will be analysing the key factors in the marketing environment which could affect British Petroleum. The main factors will be covered by analysing the two areas of marketing known best for analysis, being micro and macro environmental factors, micro being internal issues and macro being external. Macro-analysis being the external issue and micro-analysis being the internal issue. An external issue is where a business cannot control anything that happens in it. An example of this for macro-analysis would be the BP oil spill in 2010, which was involved in Deepwater Horizon in the Gulf of Mexico. Unfortunately, this event killed over 11 people. This was recorded as the biggest oil spill in history, and this led to bigger problems such as boycotts and pressure groups. Boycotts being the main problem, it was found that 34,000 people joined a pressure group called as Petroleum-BP, found on the Telegraph online, and this declared that they would no longer buy from BP or do anything orientated with it. When undertaking this macro-analysis, I used the pastel method and found that environment was one of the main problems in macro-environment for BP. This links to the environmental issue of boycotts, as the spill leads to ruined habitats for animals as crude oil enters the sea and creates pollution. The whole factors behind the environmental issues linked to the crude oil aspect when talking about petrol. It increases the amount of carbon dioxide emissions as well as other greenhouse gases, then react with the atmosphere and start to contribute to global warming. Another issue would be the depletion in natural resources, as we are using it at such a high rate, but it cannot be produced as quickly as we use it. These boycotts and other external groups will put pressure on BP. However, these are factors that the business cannot control due to them being external. BP would have to change the whole business in general to relate to these groups and the pressure. However, they will also have to relate to the new technology changes, and this means it will definitely affect their profits and sales in the future. BP is available all around the world, but its main supplier is Australia. Due to the main supplier being non-EU, the business would be used to tariffs that are expected to affect other businesses in Britain once we decide to go through the process of Brexit. For example, other suppliers such as Germany, Belgium and the Netherlands are in the EU and will therefore legally have to charge tariffs if BP still decide to trade with them once Britain leave the EU. To keep profits, the business may have to undertake a process of increasing their prices to cover the charges of the tariffs, or if they decide that they will no longer have to create a plan. A plan or a routine will only have to be created if the business are struggling with the cost of the tariffs once Britain leave the EU. For example, this could be a plan such as reducing costs in areas which will not have a noticeable effect for BP, other than just keeping profits stable. However, due to the business being a multi-billion-dollar company, a drop in costs will not have a large effect as it would with other smaller businesses. I will now begin to talk about microanalysis, which is the internal factors which can be controlled rather than external which cannot be controlled. One of the main microanalysis factors that I've decided to talk about is publics, and I've said that BP could take from the bad publicity and avoid it or work with it, and I've decided that they would like to relate to the customers more. Linking back to the 2010 BP oil spill, it is shown on their website that they have decided that they wanted to cover all costs by themselves to work as fast as they could to get rid of the spillages or clean it as much as possible. Statistics say that it took 3 years to clean up, and it ended up being in 3 different states that they were cleaning: Mississippi, Alabama and Florida, which covered the Gulf of Mexico. Other than just cleaning the spillages, the cost would have also covered pay for labour, damages, technology, equipment and other costs, meaning that it definitely would have left a dent in the profits of BP. And as well, try as hard as they could to demolish any bad publicity and boycotts. The next factor I'll begin to talk about is suppliers. BP's commitment to supplier diversity is clear on their website, as they have already spent $6 billion with diverse suppliers since 2008, one of the first major corporations to create a formal programme to increase purchases with minority groups. Also, the business helps communities where BP operates by boosting economic development by supporting jobs and local employees. It shows that they want to help their customers, suppliers, and people related to the business and have good relations compared to other businesses that may not want to. The last factor which I will talk about is customers. Linking to customers, it is shown that BP has excelled in technology development with their app created early this year, mainly based for families, but overall making their customer experience quicker and easier.